Hi there, it's Ron again. I wanted to make a video um, about, well, about it's it involves mental health. Um, I've gone about, let's see, you've all heard about my 18 months of sobriety that I reached November 7th. Something that's different going without. It's been about 3 years or so since I've had a working television. Maybe 4 years, maybe getting close to 4 years by now. And honestly, I don't miss it. And that's not saying, obviously, I watch YouTube, um, but it's not the same. It's not something that you just have on all the time. And that's what I wanted to talk about with television. Um, how we've made it over the decades. We made it ubiquitous in our lives and society. Um, it's omnipresent. I can remember going to restaurants, um, not not all that long ago, really. Well, a long time ago, but I can remember going to restaurants growing up, and there wasn't a single TV in the entire restaurant. And even your large family restaurants, your casual dining restaurants, not a single television in the whole restaurant, and it was nice not to have that constant battering of the senses. Um, Bill Hicks, the comedian from the 80s and 90s, who is still a legend, hopefully always will be, because he was amazing. Bill Hicks, when he's talking about television, he says it's like putting black shoe polish. Watching television is like putting black shoe polish on your third eye, and it does kill creativity. And honestly, I think that when you have depression and things like other mental health issues, I think it can fuel that. So I know a lot of people, and again, when you go out in public, almost almost anywhere you go in public now, just constantly has television going, has television on, and I did this from time to time, and I still know people who just always have their TV on, just always, constantly. And there's people that I talk to that every time I talk to them, they have the news on, especially now with all this political bullshit going on. They just always have the TV on, and oftentimes it's the news. And that's another aspect of this. It's good for you. It's good for anyone to take a break from the news, especially if you're dealing with depression, anxiety disorder, PTSD, ADD, any number of mental health issues. It's something that I've learned along the way, and this is when I learned about not only, part of dealing with things that trigger my PTSD, avoiding them is just turning off the damn news. And, one thing, or not even reading the newspaper. A few years back, I think it was 2016, when all those cops got murdered in Dallas, Texas, that one horrible morning. I remember it was early the next morning. I stopped in at a Quick Trip, and of course by then it was 5 or 6 a.m., something like that. And by then the Dallas Morning News was out, and of course the entire front page was just dominated with huge headlines and photos and everything regarding those cops getting killed. And I was going to buy it, but I could just feel myself getting more and more upset, and I could feel myself getting triggered by it. And I made the decision not to buy that newspaper. And I remember at the time that my therapist used that as a perfect example of I did exactly the right thing. Because here's the bottom line was there's nothing I could do about it. Something that happened that there's absolutely nothing I could do about it. So it's not going to do me a lot of good to read about it. Other staying informed is good, but in an instance like that, it's like watching car wrecks on videos. It doesn't do you any good at all. But in the 3 or 4 years since I've had a working TV, it's nice. When I do have media going at my apartment here, it's 90% of it's music. I watch the occasional YouTube channel like Bo the Fifth Column, Secular Talk, Kyle Kalinske, Joe Rogan's podcast I watch on YouTube, The Hill Rise, and there's a few others, and a little bit of comedy here and there, but 90% of it is music. And I want to tell you, music is very healing, and it's not so chaotic where you're just getting blasted with information. You're getting blasted with musical notes, and that's something that can really it's good for mental health. But the old saying goes, "Kill your television." It's really try going a year without television in your home, and you'll notice the difference. And the difference is all good, especially, like I said, especially when it comes to having the damn news on all the time. And it bothers me. I notice it more when I go out in public and there's TV everywhere, and it's almost always on news and sports. And tell you what, that's a real brain killer. So anyway, kill your television. Give it a try. A year without television in your home. You'll be glad you did. All right, thanks. Y'all have a great day.